life doesn't fall apart all at once. More often than not, it drifts into chaos. And chaos isn't failure, it's usually just a missing rhythm. Today we're going to be talking about how to stay steady even when life isn't. If you're a mom who dreams of that homestead life you see on Instagram, but you feel like you'd need an extra 12 hours in your day to make it happen, along with another set of hands, then Simply Living Homestead is for you. Hi, I'm Amanda, wife, mama, and milkmaid. I've learned the secret to simplifying my time and homestead to make room for the moments that matter. If you're ready to get time back in your day, manage your home with ease, and train your children in the way they should go, grab your pitchfork and planner, friend. Let's get to work. Over the last couple of months, you've probably heard me promoting my Facebook community. I have made the decision to step away from Facebook because I don't believe busy, tired moms need more noise, negativity, and endless scrolling in their lives. What you do need is encouragement, support, and a place that helps you stay focused on what really matters. That's why I created my free community off social media inside a simple app where we can connect without distractions. It's available both on an app in your phone and on your web browser. Inside you'll find encouragement for real-life homesteading moms, accountability to stay consistent, a peaceful, uplifting community, support without comparison or drama. If you're craving less screen time and more purpose, I'd love for you to join us. Go to simplylivinghomestead.com/community or click the link in the description below. Welcome back to the Homestead. Today we're tying home organization and rhythms into time zoning. We're going to be talking about how daily, weekly, and seasonal rhythms keep your home running smoothly without burnout. Overwhelm creeps in fast, whether you have one kid like me or many like some of my friends. The homesteading seasons can change, workload just changes constantly depending on how cold it is outside, how hot it is outside, how many animals you have. Are things growing in the garden? Do we need to harvest or are we planting? The seasons change a lot of things, and so does just the different stages that we are in life. What worked last season suddenly doesn't work. All of these things have pushed me to stop chasing perfect routines. I am a perfectionist by nature, but realizing that life is designed to move and shift and swing with the wind has taught me and is teaching me that perfect rhythms just simply don't exist. We need to learn to build rhythms and routines that can flex and flow and move with life rather than trying to set up rigid rules or perfect routines or perfect lists. It is better to have a bunch of small building blocks that can be pieced together the way that you need it to be pieced together for that day. If this is your first time joining us on the Homestead, hi, my name's Amanda, and I own Simply Living Homestead. We run a dairy. I have one child. He is 5 years old, and I teach organization and time management. And yes, they go together. I teach time organization, I teach stuff organization, and eventually we'll be talking about people organization too. Relationships and that sort of thing. But today we're going to be talking about just the big overview of rhythms and routines and how having our home organized and having our time organized can really help reduce the mental fatigue, the physical fatigue, and just all of the things that come with living on a homestead and being a mother and taking care of our families. It is something where I feel very passionate about getting you to a position where life isn't necessarily easy, but it is able to be, I don't even want to say controlled, because control is really just an illusion. But if you have stability in your life and you know how to bend and sway, life is a whole lot easier. As I kind of mentioned a little bit ago, what my my thought process really is a whole bunch of building blocks that fit together and can be rearranged depending on the season and the things that are being thrown at you at that time. Think of it like a tree. If the tree didn't sway in the wind, it would break and it would fall over. The limbs that come falling out of the tree snapped because usually they were dead and they didn't have any movement towards it. Look up some of those videos of storms in like hurricanes and the trees that they're bent way over, but then they stand back up. And in a hurricane, a tree that went through a hurricane is going to look kind of frazzled for a while, but then after a season or two, it's going to branch out and you almost can't even tell that something bad ever happened to that tree in the first place. We want our lives and our schedules to sway and bend with this. Ultimately, we first want to go to our Heavenly Father. We want to anchor ourselves in Him. And then we need to look at our time and we need to look at our homes. So when we're looking at our time, we think about it in terms of zones. Side note, if you haven't listened to any other episodes, go all the way back to like 30. I believe episode 30 or 31 is kind of where we start talking about this. We talk about time zones and then we talk about home organization. And there's quite a few bingeable episodes there that you can really dive in as I talk kind of deep into this. Today we're going to just be talking kind of a little bit lighter across the top. So we start by thinking about zones. Your home is built on your time is built on 3 different zones. You have personal zones where you're taking care of yourself and your relationship with God. You have a home and family zone where you're taking care of the things for your family, for your home, for, things like paying attention to your kids or cleaning your house are going to fall into this zone. And then you have work zones where big projects or working outside of the home or your side hustle or your job that you have would fall into that. Inside each of these zones, we have routines. Routines are simply a set of to-do lists that are predictable and repeatable. To start a routine, to start a zone, you'll have an anchor routine. We just talked about that in last week's episode, so you can go check that out if you want a deeper dive into what an anchor routine is, but it opens the zone. It gives you this anchor point to go, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm in we're going to work on this thing now. And then you can have as many or as few routines to follow it. Just whatever set of tasks need to happen that can be categorized. And I did talk about styles a few episodes ago. If you are a highly detailed person, you'll probably have more routines, just more that are broken into smaller groups. If you're more of a simpler organizer, you don't like to have things nearly as detailed, you're not going to have that many routines. And that's okay. It's not important how many you have, but rather, are the tasks that are expected of you that you need to get done each day, are they getting done? Great. Then it doesn't need to be fixed. We're going to end our zone with a tidy routine. We're going to clean the area that we were in. Sometimes your zone can have a couple of tidy routines, especially in the home and family zone where you might be moving between larger tasks inside of that, between different rooms or different zones inside your home. You might want a tidy routine whenever you leave the space. Shouldn't take very long. 5 to 10 minutes is all that you want. And you want to close that space so it closes the zone, it closes the space so that when you go back into it next time, it is reset to a baseline that feels good to you. These daily rhythms are short, they're predictable, they're repeatable, and they're stackable. You can rearrange them depending on how your day goes. You can rearrange the big zones, right? Like, what do you need to take care of that day? Where can things fit in? Your big zones are just an overview of how you're hoping your day is going to go. Inside that, you have your routine stacks, and those can be shuffled around. I generally don't recommend that you shuffle the anchor and the tidy routine. Those are your bookends. But inside that, you can shuffle them around to your heart's content. Some people want them really predictable. Other people would like to kind of, pick and choose what they're working on. It doesn't really matter. Writing them down and keeping them visible at a command center or something helps reduce decision fatigue. As you're working through all of this, we have a couple of big, tidy routines called evening resets and weekly resets. The evening reset will return the home to neutral at the end of the day so that when you wake up, you're not tripping over toys and you're not having to deal with last night's supper that got left out. The evening reset just kind of sets your home to this place where you're like, oh, I'm actually happy waking up. I don't feel like I have 100 things that need to be taken care of. The weekly reset catches what slipped through the cracks, and it also helps reset any of those tasks that don't need to be done daily. Maybe something that like planning for the next week. You don't need to necessarily be sitting down and doing that every day with this method. And so a weekly reset, having your planning inside of that can really help to just project for the next week and wrap up the reset, wrap up the week from before. Missed a day. The beauty of this system and the beauty of the way that this works is if you miss a day, you just get up and you do it again the next day. It's not so big of a deal because things are happening on a more consistent basis. How this ties into home organization is that you have zones inside your home, and you have big zones inside your home, and you have smaller zones inside your home where you are working on a specific task, where things take place. And each of these kind of help you understand the different routines that you have inside your home, and they help you understand the different ways that your home flows. And by having zones and being able to think about that inside your home and inside your farm and on your homestead, it helps with the resets. It helps set things to a baseline so that you know where to find things. You know where things go when it's time to reset. And your home kind of operates in this manner of just moving from one thing to the next without so much friction at the point of moving. Rhythms do need to flex with the seasons. They aren't something that you can just set and forget. Time zones will expand, they'll contract, they'll get longer, they'll get shorter. You'll look at a space that you organized and used to work, and all of a sudden you're getting piles again, and you're getting hot spots and pain points, and you're like, but I just did that. And sometimes it just happens. The season changed, maybe the weather changed, maybe someone had a growth spurt and now the ways that you were doing things before don't work anymore because opinions changed. Anyway, your work seasons, your family seasons, all these things will flex and change. And the beauty of this system is that it is just a bunch of building blocks, and you get to put them together for what works for you in that season. It is helping you set boundaries between your zones to protect the balance so that you're not spending 12 hours at work. And in the work block, you can choose how much time you're spending with your family and how much time you're spending working on a project. And you can choose how much space something takes up in your home. You are allowed to set those boundaries, but you're also allowed to move them and shift them as needed to make your home and your time and taking care of the responsibilities that you are called on by God to take care of. You have the tools in place to move and to flex and to make these changes with wisdom and not sitting in a place of guilt or not understanding how where something should go because you have tools at your disposal. Now, usually every time I do an episode, I like to give you an action item to share in our Facebook group, to think about, to help you move one step closer. Today, because we're just doing this kind of general overview, your action item is to find another podcast of mine to listen to. I've made some recommendations throughout the episode today. If you are more interested in time zones and making your time operate a little bit better, how we take care of appointments, all these different things, I would encourage you to go listen to episodes 32 and 33. If you're more interested in home organization and like your house feels chaotic, the episodes in the 40s are a great place to start. Go over to our Facebook group and tell us which episode your most recent episode that you listened to, and something that you gleaned from that. I thank you for being part of this journey. Episode 50 was such a fun time in coming, and we have many more episodes on the way, and I hope that you will stay here with us, and one step at a time, we will get your house and your time into a condition that you feel really good about your life and the things that you are called to do without burnout, without chaos, without overwhelm. Chaos doesn't mean that you failed. It's just your home and your time telling you things, and I hope that you can listen to them and use some of these tips to help simplify your day. Join our free Facebook community. Link is down below. Share the episode that you are listening to next, and if you would like some coaching in this season, give me an email, shoot me an email, schedule with the links down below. I have a 15-minute free call if you'd like to just chat a little bit and see if it's the right fit for you. I'd love to chat with you, and I'd love to help you find the next thing that you can make a 1% improvement on in your life. Until next week, I hope you have a great day. Hey neighbor, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and share this episode with a friend who is knee-deep in their own homestead? Also, please leave me a rating or a review on Apple Podcasts. It thrills me to know that this podcast is helping you. Keep watching those sunsets, friend. I'll meet you back here on the homestead soon for another episode. See ya!